The entire history of human civilization. Dramatic music, ancient cave paintings, pyramids, bustling modern city skyline. In the grand story of time, humanity emerged as a spark, a force of creativity, conflict, and innovation. From humble beginnings to towering civilizations, this is the entire history of human civilization. Act 1, The Dawn of Humanity, 00230. Visuals, early humans in nature, hunting, discovering fire. Picture this, a small tribe huddled around a flickering fire, exchanging ideas and telling stories. This moment, perhaps 300,000 years ago, was the birth of what we now call civilization. Early humans were nomads, surviving through hunting and gathering. The discovery of fire changed everything, providing warmth, protection, and a way to cook food. But the biggest shift came with agriculture. Instead of chasing food, humans started growing it. Suddenly there was time to think, to build, and to wonder. Act 2, The Rise of Cities and Empires, 230-530. Visuals, Mesopotamian ziggurats, Egyptian pyramids, Roman architecture. Once humans learned to farm, settlements turned into villages, villages into towns, and towns into cities. Power shifted from survival to strategy. Mesopotamia, often called the cradle of civilization, gave birth to writing, governance, and laws. Egypt created awe-inspiring pyramids and a belief in life beyond death. Rome built roads that connected the world, bringing technology and trade. Empires rose and fell, but they all left their mark on culture, on knowledge, and on the very foundation of the modern world. Act 3, War, Innovation, and the Industrial Revolution, 530-830. Visuals, knights, castles, factories, steam engines. History is a battlefield, sometimes of armies, but more often of ideas. The Middle Ages saw kingdoms battle over land and religion, shaping Europe. The Renaissance reignited human curiosity, art, science, and exploration. The Industrial Revolution changed everything. Machines replaced manual labor, cities expanded, and humanity entered an era of progress. Act 4, The Modern Era and Beyond, 830 Tenzao. Visuals, space exploration, skyscrapers, technology advancements. From the steam engine to the internet, civilization's growth has only accelerated, and now we stand at a crossroads. Technology connects billions of people instantly. Space exploration reaches beyond Earth, searching for answers among the stars. The future of civilization, still unwritten. Closing thought. Visuals, a time-lapse of civilization evolving. The story of civilization isn't about kings or wars alone. It's about people, about ideas, and about the choices we make to shape the world we live in. So what's next? The entire history of ancient Egypt, from the first pharaohs to Cleopatra. Introduction. 1 minute. Visual. Sand dunes fading into grand temples, hieroglyphs being carved into stone. Vo. For over 3,000 years, ancient Egypt stood as one of the most powerful and enigmatic civilizations in human history. A land of mighty pharaohs, divine gods, and stunning architectural marvels that still leave us wondering. How did they build it? Today, we embark on a journey through millennia, uncovering the secrets of Egypt's rise, glory, and ultimate fall, from the first rulers to the legendary Cleopatra. Act 1, The Dawn of Egypt. 5 minutes. Visual, early settlements along the Nile, primitive tools, a village forming. VO. Our story begins over 5,000 years ago, along the banks of the Nile. The river wasn't just water, it was life itself, fueling agriculture, trade, and the foundations of the first Egyptian communities. Around 3100 BCE, a leader named Narmer, also known as Menes, united Upper and Lower Egypt. He became the first pharaoh, marking the dawn of an empire that would change history forever. Visual: the Narmer palette showing the unification of Egypt, royal rituals, artisans crafting statues. Pharaohs were more than kings. They were seen as gods on earth. They controlled everything: the floods, the harvests, and even the afterlife. But to leave their mark for eternity, they needed something bigger, something grander, and thus, the first Great Pyramid was born. Act 2, The Age of the Pyramids, Sexemen. Visual: time-lapse of pyramid construction, workers hauling stones, Pharaoh Djoser's step pyramid rising against the sky. VAO: the Old Kingdom, often called the Age of the Pyramids, saw Egypt at its peak. Pharaohs like Djoser and Sneferu experimented with pyramid designs, leading to the creation of the most iconic of them all, the Great Pyramid of Giza, built by Pharaoh Khufu. But how did they build it? That is the question historians and engineers still debate today. Visual: inside the pyramid, the Great Sphinx, ancient inscriptions predicting the pharaoh's divine journey to the stars. Act 3, The Golden Age, Conquests and Gods. Visual: pharaohs leading armies, temples being constructed, massive statues of gods towering over worshippers. VO: as Egypt expanded, its culture flourished. The Middle and New Kingdoms were golden ages of conquest, with rulers like Hatshepsut, the female pharaoh who defied tradition, and Ramses II, the legendary warrior king. Temples to gods like Ra, Osiris, and Isis dominated the skyline, filled with priests performing rituals to keep divine order. And visual: Hatshepsut's temple, the Valley of the Kings, hieroglyphs detailing battles, Ramses II at the Battle of Kadesh. Act 4, The Fall and Cleopatra's Legacy. Visual: Persian invasions, shifting sands burying temples, Roman ships approaching Egypt's shores. VO: but even the greatest civilizations must fall. After centuries of power struggles, foreign invasions chipped away at Egypt's strength. Cleopatra, Egypt's last pharaoh, fought to preserve her kingdom against Rome, but her love affair with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony intertwined her fate with the empire that would ultimately conquer Egypt. Visual: Cleopatra on the throne, Roman soldiers marching through Alexandria, the fall of Egypt. VO: with Cleopatra's death, Egypt became just another province of Rome, and so ended an era of gods, pyramids, and legendary rulers. Conclusion: Carmine. Visual: the pyramids under the night sky, echoes of ancient chants, modern archaeologists examining inscriptions. VO: though the empire crumbled, Egypt's legacy never faded. Every temple, every inscription, every towering pyramid whispers of an era unlike any other. And perhaps if we listen closely, we can still hear the whispers of the past. Walking through ancient Rome, a journey to the Colosseum. An aerial view of an expansive Roman road stretching toward a towering Colosseum. Sounds of bustling city life, footsteps, chariots rolling, merchants calling out. Imagine stepping back nearly 2,000 years into the heart of Rome, where the air hums with anticipation, the streets pulse with life, and the grand Colosseum stands as a monument to both triumph and brutality. Today, we take that journey. Soft transition into close-up street-level view. Merchants, citizens in tunics bartering, chariots passing in the background. This road, paved with large, carefully set stones, is no mere pathway. It is the lifeline of Rome, connecting traders, soldiers, and commoners alike. Every footstep here carries the weight of history. 1. The Roman Road, a symbol of power. 130, 330. Cut to animated sequence showing the construction of the roads, workers laying stones, Roman engineers surveying the land. Rome wasn't just an empire, it was an innovator. These roads, known as Viae Romanae, extended over 400,000 kilometers, a network that made Rome the epicenter of civilization. The saying, "all roads lead to Rome," that's no exaggeration. Scene shifts to citizens walking, a philosopher deep in thought, a group of soldiers marching. On this very road, great minds like Cicero may have debated philosophy. Soldiers fresh from battle may have returned home, their sandals worn from the long march. Close-up of a worn leather sandal stepping onto the cobblestones, dust rising. Every stone beneath their feet has a story to tell. 2. The Colosseum's majestic presence, 3:30. Sauvignon. Wide shot of the Colosseum as we approach. The towering arches, the grand spectacle it promises. Built in 80 AD, the Colosseum was more than just an arena. It was the beating heart of Roman entertainment, hosting gladiator battles, theatrical performances, and even mock sea battles. Cut to inside the Colosseum. Crowds roaring, gladiators standing ready. Picture this. The ground trembles as a gladiator enters, his armor glinting under the sun. The crowd, a mix of nobles and common folk, erupts in anticipation. For many, this was the ultimate thrill, the defining spectacle of Rome. Montage of different moments, chariot races, wild animal hunts. For the victor, eternal glory. For the defeated, well, not all left the arena alive. 3. Life beyond the spectacle, 7, 9 to 30. Shift back to the streets, vendors selling fruit, a child running past in excitement. But Rome wasn't just about battles. It was a city full of life, art, and innovation. Scholars gathered to discuss philosophy. Bakers prepared fresh bread, filling the air with its warm scent. Musicians played lively tunes in the marketplace. Fade to a serene evening view, the golden light casting soft shadows. As the sun sets over the eternal city, the roads grow quieter. The chariots slow, the merchants pack away their goods, and the great Colosseum stands tall, an enduring symbol of an empire that shaped the world. Return to the aerial view, Rome in all its grandeur. From the road to the Colosseum, from the citizens to the warriors, Rome remains alive in history, reminding us of the resilience and brilliance of the human spirit. If you could walk these streets, what story would you tell? Secrets of the Great Pyramid, ancient builders and the legacy of pharaohs. The Great Pyramid stands tall under the bright Egyptian sun. The camera slowly zooms in, revealing intricate carvings on temple walls. Pharaoh. For over 4,500 years, this towering masterpiece has stood as a testament to human ingenuity. But who built it? How did they move millions of massive stone blocks with no modern machinery? And what secrets still lie hidden within its chambers? 1. The vision of Pharaoh Khufu. 2. Sixha. Visual, ancient Egyptian court, Pharaoh Khufu watching as architects unroll massive blueprints. 5. Our story begins around 2580 BCE, when Pharaoh Khufu, ruler of Egypt, dreamed of a monument that would outshine all others. It would be his gateway to the afterlife, a structure so grand that no king before him had dared attempt something so colossal. Visual, animation, depicting the pyramid design taking shape. VO. The pyramid was meant to align with the stars and reflect divine order. Every measurement carefully calculated by Egypt's greatest minds. 2. Engineering marvels and laborers' struggles. 6. Touted 12 Saus. Visual. Thousands of Egyptian workers dragging stone blocks across the desert with wooden sleds. VO. It took an army of workers, some skilled stone cutters, others farmers recruited during the Nile's flooding season, to carve and transport these immense blocks. Contrary to popular myths, these were not enslaved laborers, but respected workers who lived in well-structured villages near the pyramid site. Visual. A craftsman carefully carving hieroglyphics onto a temple wall. VO. These workers left behind graffiti and inscriptions, signatures of their teams, proud to be part of history. Visual. An animation showing how ramps and counterweights were used to move stones. V. Modern theories suggest they used long ramps, wooden rollers, and simple physics to hoist the massive blocks skyward. A system so effective, it continues to challenge engineers today. 3. Mysteries hidden within. 12 up, 17 now. Visual. The pyramid's internal corridors leading to the king's chamber. VO. But the pyramid still holds secrets. Inside, the king's chamber, lined with solid granite, raises questions about its symbolic significance. Did it serve a deeper ritualistic purpose, or was it part of an ancient astronomical map? Visual. Close-up of empty sarcophagus in the king's chamber. VO. Curiously, no pharaoh's body was ever found within. Did robbers loot it centuries ago? Or did Khufu's final resting place lie elsewhere, concealed under layers of Egyptian myth? Final act, the legacy and lasting wonder, 1720 claws. Visual, the pyramid under a golden sunset, tourists admiring its grandeur. Viado. Today, the Great Pyramid remains one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, a timeless monument to ambition, mathematics, and sheer human determination. It has inspired countless civilizations, fueling theories of extraterrestrial involvement and lost technologies. But one truth stands clear. This pyramid was built by the hands of brilliant minds who dared to defy the impossible. What do you think? Could the ancient Egyptians have possessed engineering secrets lost to time? Let us know in the comments. Last-minute miracles, unbelievable last-second wins and clutch performances. In the blink of an eye, fortunes change, history is rewritten, and legends are born. Welcome to last-minute miracles, the moments when everything seemed lost, until someone defied the odds and snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. The shot heard around the world. To a dimly lit basketball court, flickering scoreboard showing 0.01 left on the clock. Host. Imagine being down by 2 with only 1 second left on the clock. The entire stadium is holding its breath. The ball is inbounded. Caught, released, bang, it's in. The crowd erupts, just like Ray Allen's iconic corner 3 in the 2013 NBA Finals, proving once again that heroes rise when pressure peaks. Cut to slow-motion footage of other clutch shots with heartbeat sound effects. What makes moments like this so legendary? It's not just skill, it's an unwavering belief, a refusal to accept defeat, and a calmness that defies the chaos. The impossible comeback. Screen fades to black before flashing back to a scoreboard showing 28-3. The third quarter of Super Bowl LI. The Atlanta Falcons were destroying the New England Patriots. The dream seemed dead. And then, magic happened. High-energy montage of the Patriots scoring one touchdown after another, culminating in the game-winning play. Host. The greatest comeback in Super Bowl history. Against every logical expectation, Tom Brady and the Patriots clawed their way back, proving that no lead is safe and no fight is ever truly over. 3 underdog triumphs. Scene transitions to a small-town runner gasping for breath, trailing behind as the finish line comes into view. In the 1980 Olympics, the miracle on ice stunned the world when a team of young American amateurs took down the seemingly unstoppable Soviet hockey team. No one believed they could win. No one, except them. Cut to other unlikely underdog victories, from Leicester City's Premier League triumph to Serena Williams' comeback victories. Host. Sometimes the greatest miracles happen when no one sees them coming, when belief outweighs doubt and preparation meets destiny. 4. Life's last-minute miracles. Scene shifts to dramatic real-life rescues, firefighters pulling people from burning buildings, last-second medical breakthroughs, and pilots safely landing planes under impossible conditions. It's not just about sports. The world is filled with real-life last-minute miracles. Times when human resilience, skill, and sheer determination saved lives and changed futures. The power of never giving up. Final montage of athletes, everyday heroes, and victorious moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot, a historic comeback, or a life-saving act, last-minute miracles remind us of one thing: it's never over until it's over. The next time you're facing defeat, remember, your miracle might be just 1 second away. Lost civilizations, the rise and fall of forgotten empires. Run, time, 30 tone, minutes. Captivating, immersive, and educational speech. Pace, medium. Opening scene, visuals, dark, dramatic intro with crumbling ancient ruins. There was once a world unknown, buried beneath centuries of dust. Civilizations that thrived, built wonders, and then, without warning, vanished. What happened to them? Were they victims of their own ambition? Or did the hand of fate write their downfall? Show ancient maps fading in and out, marking key locations. Today, we unlock the secrets of lost civilizations, their rise, their mastery, and their tragic demise. Segment 1, The Mystery of the Nabateans. 2, wait. Visuals, a stunning shot of Petra's rock-hewn temples. Deep in the Jordanian desert lies a city carved into stone. Petra, the crown jewel of the Nabateans, a civilization of skilled traders and architects. They mastered water management in the unforgiving desert. But despite their brilliance, they mysteriously disappeared. Show intricate tunnels, aqueduct systems, and camels crossing trade routes. What led to their fall? Was it shifting trade patterns, or did outside forces erase them from history? Segment 2, The Vanished Khmer Empire. 15 Yaut. Visuals, drone shots of Angkor Wat at sunrise. At its height, the Khmer Empire controlled much of Southeast Asia, constructing vast cities and temples that rivaled Rome in grandeur. Angkor Wat stands as its ghostly reminder, a temple larger than the pyramids of Egypt. But suddenly, the mighty Khmer faded into the jungle. Show satellite images revealing hidden lost structures beneath the forest canopy. Some say climate change and severe droughts weakened their power. Others believe internal conflict tore them apart. But what truly happened? Segment 3, The Collapse of Cahokia. 15 hours, 22 hours. Visuals, a wide shot of Cahokia's earthen mounds under a sunset. In North America, before European settlers arrived, Cahokia was a bustling city with pyramids, not of stone, but of earth. Home to tens of thousands, it was the largest pre-Columbian city north of Mexico. Then, suddenly, deserted. Show animations depicting crowded markets and then fading out to emptiness. Why did Cahokia disappear? Did they exhaust their resources? Was there an uprising? Or does history keep its secrets? Next, 22 Tas, 30 Has. Civilizations rise, civilizations fall. The only constant in history is change. Montage, ruins blending into modern city skylines. What lessons can we learn from these lost empires? Do we, too, stand on the edge of collapse? Final shot, a sunrise over ancient ruins, symbolizing hope. History does not repeat, it rhymes. And if we listen closely, we just might hear its warning. Title: Historic Crimes, Famous and Unsolved Mysteries Across Time. Let's begin. Dark, moody visuals of old newspaper clippings, eerie historical locations, slow zoom-ins on portraits of infamous criminals. Throughout history, crimes have shaped societies, toppled empires, and left behind chilling mysteries that remain unsolved. Some crimes changed laws. Others were so bizarre they still defy explanation. Today, we'll journey through time, unraveling infamous cases that continue to haunt historians and criminologists alike. Segment 1. The Disappearance of the Princes in the Tower, 1483. Visual. Old paintings of the Tower of London, flickering candlelight, shadowy figures in royal attire. Two young princes, Edward Five and Richard of Shrewsbury, vanished without a trace inside the Tower of London. Their uncle, King Richard III, had seized the throne, leading many to believe the boys were murdered. But with no concrete evidence, their fate remains one of history's greatest cold cases. Were they secretly rescued, or did dark secrets lurk within those stone walls? Segment 2. The Murder of Rasputin, 1916. A death that defied logic. Visual. Vintage Russian photographs, eerie snowfall, candlelit palace interiors. Grigory Rasputin, the controversial mystic advisor to Russia's royal family, was said to possess supernatural powers. When he was finally assassinated, reports claimed he survived poison, multiple gunshots, and even drowning before succumbing. His murder reads more like a myth than reality. Was Rasputin truly hard to kill, or did history embellish the details? Segment 3. The Black Dahlia Case, 1947. A Hollywood Nightmare. Visual, 1940s Los Angeles streets, flashing police lights, crime scene photography. Elizabeth Short, known as the Black Dahlia, was brutally murdered in Los Angeles, her body displayed in a horrific manner. Despite countless theories and suspects, the case remains unsolved. Some believe it was the work of a serial killer, others suspect deep ties to Hollywood's elite. But decades later, the mystery only deepens. Segment 4. The Great Train Robbery, 1963. The Perfect Heist? Visual, old-fashioned steam trains, money bags spilling onto the ground, mugshots of the robbers. A group of criminals executed one of the most daring heists in British history, stealing $2.6 million from a mail train without firing a single bullet. While some were caught, others escaped, vanishing forever. Was it a flawless plan, or did someone else mastermind the robbery behind the scenes? Segment 5. The Zodiac Killer, 1960s-70s. The Unknown Predator. Visual, cryptic letters, maps of San Francisco, old police sketches. The Zodiac Killer taunted police with encrypted messages and gruesome crimes. Despite extensive investigations and suspects, his identity remains a mystery. Was the Zodiac a lone madman, or a symbol of something far darker lurking within society? Visual, time-lapse of historical documents fading away, eerie music building suspense. History leaves behind unanswered questions, and crimes like these remind us how fragile truth can be. Some secrets stay buried, while others resurface when least expected. What do you think? Is there a crime in history that still haunts you? The Lost Continent, hidden beneath the ocean. Majestic ocean waves crashing on an isolated beach. Excited and engaging. Imagine a world that once thrived with lush forests, bustling civilizations, and untold mysteries. Now completely submerged beneath the vastness of the ocean. Yes, you heard that right. Hidden beneath the waves lies a secret. A lost continent, forgotten by time, waiting to reveal its secrets to the world. Welcome to this incredible journey as we dive deep into the ocean's most intriguing enigma, the Lost Continent. Segment 1. Setting the stage. What is a lost continent? Footage of various ocean vistas, transitioning into ancient maps. Before we start our underwater exploration, let's understand, what exactly is a lost continent? Most of us are familiar with continents like Asia, Africa, and the Americas. But every so often, Earth hides fragments of its history under layers of water and sediment, creating what we call a lost continent. Graphics. Animation showing the Earth's tectonic plates shifting over millions of years. Host. Analogy-driven. Think of Earth like an intricate jigsaw puzzle. Over billions of years, these tectonic plates, pieces of our planet, have moved, collided, and even sunk into the ocean, leaving behind remnants of ancient land masses. A lost continent isn't just a fantasy, it's geological history waiting to be rediscovered. Segment 2. Discovery of Zealandia, the lost continent. Transition to underwater exploration footage, highlighting the area near New Zealand. Now, let's talk about one of the most fascinating examples of a lost continent, Zealandia. This massive landmass, nearly half the size of Australia, lies almost completely submerged under the Pacific Ocean. For centuries, it was hiding in plain sight. Graphics. Interactive map zooming into Zealandia's outline beneath the ocean. Here's a fun fact. Scientists officially declared Zealandia a continent only in 2017. That's just a few years ago. It's like discovering a hidden wing in a mansion you've lived in your entire life. Incredible, isn't it? Segment 3, the rise and fall of lost continents. Archival visuals of volcanic eruptions and lush prehistoric landscapes. Zealandia isn't the only mysterious land to vanish beneath the waves. Throughout Earth's history, continents have risen and fallen due to powerful natural forces, volcanoes erupting, tectonic plates shifting, or even rising sea levels. Animation, a visualization showing land disappearing under the ocean over time. It's almost like a sandcastle by the beach. The forces of nature slowly erase its structure, leaving just a memory behind. And yet, traces of these vanished lands linger under the sea, waiting for us to find them. Segment 4, Atlantis, Myth or Reality. Footage of underwater ruins and divers exploring ancient sites. Of course, we can't talk about lost continents without mentioning Atlantis, the legendary island described by Plato. Was it a real place or just a myth? While historians debate, the idea of Atlantis has captured our imaginations for generations. Graphics artistic depiction of Atlantis alongside modern underwater ruins. And who knows? Maybe there's an Atlantis waiting to be discovered hidden beneath the depths of our oceans. What's your take? Myth or reality? Let us know in the comments below. Segment 5. Scientific exploration. Unveiling the hidden world. Transition to scientists aboard a research vessel analyzing geological samples. Thanks to modern technology, we've come closer than ever to uncovering these underwater secrets. Using advanced tools like sonar mapping and submersibles, researchers are piecing together the puzzle of lost continents. Footage of underwater drones capturing stunning visuals of submerged landscapes. It's like opening a time capsule hidden at the bottom of the ocean. Every discovery brings us one step closer to understanding Earth's ancient history. Segment 6. Why it matters. Compilation of breathtaking underwater footage and geological landmarks. Hiring and reflective. You might wonder, why does it matter? Well, uncovering lost continents isn't just about solving mysteries. It's about understanding our planet's evolution, how ecosystems have changed, and how we humans fit into this grand story of life. Graphics. Infographic showing the timeline of Earth's continents. And as we continue to learn more, who knows what other secrets the ocean holds? Your curiosity and support could be the key to future discoveries. The big takeaway. Final montage of stunning oceanic landscapes with uplifting music, concluding with energy. So next time you gaze at the endless ocean, remember, it's more than just water. Beneath the waves lies a hidden history, a story waiting to be told. Legends uncovered, the forgotten icons of sports. Music fades in, deep cinematic sports theme. Visuals, old, grainy sports footage, trophies covered in dust, newspaper headlines yellowing with age. Slow, dramatic tone. There are legends we speak of every day, names etched in gold, stories told 1,000 times. But some heroes, the ones who defied the odds, who changed the game, have been lost to time. Today we uncover the forgotten icons of sports history, the legends you should know. Music intensifies. Transition to montage of various sports. Segment 1, setting the stage. Visuals, empty stadium, dimming lights, flickering scoreboard. History is written by the victors, they say. But victory isn't always about trophies. Sometimes it's about resilience, groundbreaking moments, game-changing impact, even if the world forgets. Let's start with a name that deserves to be remembered. Segment 2, story. Number 1, Florence Griffith. Joyner, the fastest woman alive. Visuals, flashbacks of FloJo sprinting an iconic 1988 Olympics race. Stylish outfits, dramatic finish. In 1988, Florence Griffith Joyner changed the definition of speed. She wasn't just an Olympic champion, she was an icon. Yet despite holding records untouched for decades, her name has faded into the background of sports history. Cut to interviews, archival footage of FloJo's dominance. But what made her special wasn't just her speed. It was how she defied expectations, shattered stereotypes, and built a legacy of fearless individuality in sports. Comparisons to modern sprinters. Question posed: why does the world remember Usain Bolt but rarely mention FloJo's story? Segment 3, story number 2. Dragan Petrovic, the basketball genius that never got his due. Visuals, European basketball court, Petrovic dominating in unseen footage. Before Luka Doncic, before Dirk Nowitzki, there was Dragan Petrovic, the European star who changed the way the NBA saw international players. He could shoot, he could drive, he could dominate. But his story was cut short far too soon. Music shift, visual fades to tragedy, Petrovic's untimely death. Had fate been kinder, Petrovic might have redefined basketball worldwide. Yet, his name remains one that only the true historians of the game remember. Expert commentary reinforcing his impact on basketball. Segment 4, story number 3. Nandor Hidegkuti, the man who reinvented football. Visuals, classic European football game. Players are confused by Hidegkuti's tactical brilliance. Modern football thrives on tactical innovation, but back in the 1950s, one man revolutionized the game before people even understood his brilliance: Nandor Hidegkuti. Breakdown of the false nine role he pioneered, influencing today's stars. His vision changed football forever, yet few speak of his name outside old European coaching circles. Final segment, closing thoughts. Visuals, slow motion shots of these forgotten legends in their prime, then overlay of present-day athletes they inspire. History doesn't always remember the right names, but you can. Legends don't fade if we continue telling their stories. Ancient innovations, groundbreaking inventions that shaped human progress. Dramatic montage of ancient artifacts, pyramids, and ruins with a rising soundtrack. Throughout history, humanity has transformed the ordinary into extraordinary, driven by innovation and curiosity. From the first spark of fire to engineering marvels, these groundbreaking inventions laid the foundation for modern progress. Introduction. A serene, ancient village scene fades to bustling trade routes. Host on screen, or welcome to the fascinating journey of ancient innovations. Today, we uncover inventions that reshaped human civilization. These stories are more than history. They are the blueprint of progress. Let's explore. Segment 1. The wheel, revolutionizing mobility. A rolling wheel fades into ancient cart illustrations and real-world applications. Imagine being stuck in one place because transportation didn't exist. Then came the wheel, an idea so simple yet revolutionary. Dating back to around 3500 BC, the wheel transformed trade, agriculture, and warfare, making mobility faster and efficient. Analogy. Think of the wheel as the internet of its time, a tool that connected distant places and accelerated commerce and communication. Segment 2. Written language, connecting minds across time. 3 Albert Towers, 5 Albert Carrots. Background. Ancient cuneiform tablets dissolve into handwritten scrolls and books. Communication was revolutionized with written language. Around 3100 BC, Sumerians developed cuneiform script, allowing the recording of laws, trade agreements, and stories. Written words bridged generations and preserved knowledge. Relatable insight. Imagine if everything you knew relied solely on oral traditions. No texts, no books, no emails. Written language was humanity's first cloud storage system. Segment 3. Aqueducts. Engineering the flow of civilization. 5 Gui, 7 Gu. Background. Roman aqueducts fade to water systems serving modern cities. Clean water is essential for life. Romans mastered aqueducts in 312 BC, transporting water to cities and changing urban planning forever. Without aqueducts, cities couldn't sustain large populations, paving the way for metropolitan development. Analogy. Think of aqueducts as the arteries of civilization, delivering lifeblood to growing urban centers. Segment 4. The sundial. Harnessing time. 7C, 9A. Background. Sundial fades to modern clocks and digital displays. Before the clock, the sundial was humanity's way of telling time. Ancient Egyptians around 1500 BC developed this ingenious tool, harnessing the sun to organize daily routines. It was the first step towards a society driven by timekeeping. Relatable content. Imagine living without knowing the time. Sundials were a game changer, the precursor to calendars, alarms, and even our smartphones. Conclusion. Connecting the past to the present. 9 now be 10 nows. A montage of ancient inventions connecting to modern technologies like cars, books, and water systems. These ancient innovations remind us that progress is built on the ingenuity of those who came before. From wheels to aqueducts, our world is shaped by their legacy. What inventions from today will leave a mark on future generations? Benchwarmers Chronicles. Stories of underrated players who played crucial roles. Background, montage of championship celebrations, players hugging, confetti falling. Every championship, every historic moment has its headliners, the star players who dominate the highlight reels. But behind every victory, there's another story. The story of the unsung heroes, the bench warmers, the role players who stepped up when it mattered most. Today, we're diving into the chronicles of underrated players who defined crucial moments in sports history. You may not know their names, but their impact, unforgettable. Transition to main segment with dramatic sports footage. 1. Steve Kerr, the silent assassin. Chicago Bulls 1997 NBA Finals. Let's rewind to 1997. The Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan, the legend, the finals. But when Game 6 was on the line, it wasn't Jordan who took the most important shot. It was Steve Kerr. With just seconds left on the clock, Kerr received a pass from Jordan and BAM! The shot went in. The Bulls won the title. Kerr wasn't the flashy superstar. He wasn't the first name on the roster. But in that moment, he was everything. Show clip of Kerr hitting the finals winning shot with dramatic commentary. 2. David Tyree, the helmet catch that shocked the world. Super Bowl x New York Giants. Super Bowl x Giants versus Patriots. The Patriots were undefeated, the favorites to win. And then, David Tyree, a name no one expected, made the catch that defined the game. 4th quarter, 3rd down. Eli Manning scrambling for dear life. And Tyree, he caught the ball with his helmet. It was a moment that shattered expectations, a moment that proved that legends can come from anywhere. Show footage of Tyree's iconic catch and overlay reactions from commentators. 3. Francisco Paco Rodriguez, the unseen key to a World Series win. Baseball is often about the home run kings, the power hitters, but in the 2013 World Series, one of the most important figures wasn't at the plate. He was on the mound. Paco Rodriguez, a relief pitcher, came in when the stakes were sky high. His clutch performances stabilized the game. He wasn't the MVP, he wasn't front page news, but without him, the championship may have slipped away. Show brief statistics overlay of his contribution plus crowd cheering sounds, or the essence of being a bench warmer. What do these players teach us? That greatness isn't always loud. That championships aren't built on just one star, but on every player who steps up when the pressure is at its peak. Not every hero wears a jersey number that fans chant. Some sit patiently, waiting for their moment, knowing that when opportunity knocks, they must deliver. Inspirational montage of underdog moments across different sports. So, tell me, what are your favorite underrated player moments? Who deserves more recognition in sports history? Title, Secrets of the Lost City of Petra. Sound of wind brushing against ancient stone. Let's begin. Hidden deep within the rugged desert of Jordan, beneath layers of dust and forgotten tales, lies a city so mesmerizing, so mysterious, that it defies time itself. Welcome to Petra, the lost city of stone. For centuries it stood untouched, concealed by the sands of history, until its secrets were unraveled by curious minds. But what did they find? What are the untold stories buried within Petra's breathtaking facades? And how did this city, once thriving with life, vanish into the shadows? Visual drone shot of Petra's entrance, panning over the majestic rock formations. Segment 1. The Rise of Petra, a city carved by visionaries. Long before Petra became a wonder of the world, it was the beating heart of an empire. The Nabateans, a nomadic people with extraordinary engineering skills, turned desert rock into an architectural marvel. The city's strategic location made it a hub for trade, connecting distant civilizations. Visual animated map showing Petra's location relative to ancient trade routes. Explain how the Nabateans mastered water engineering, building reservoirs and tunnels to store and distribute water in the harsh desert climate. Share an analogy. Imagine a city in the middle of a scorching desert, yet thriving like an oasis. Petra was not just a settlement, it was a miracle of human ingenuity. Visual CGI simulation of Petra's ancient water systems. Segment 2. The Architecture, a gateway to immortality. Petra's architecture tells stories of gods, kings, and merchants. But behind its grand temples and tombs lies a deeper mystery. Why was it built with such precision? Was it simply a city? Or did it serve an esoteric purpose? Visual, slow-motion shot of the treasury at sunrise, shadows casting dramatic outlines. Explore the theories behind the treasury. Was it a royal tomb, a temple, or something else entirely? Discuss Petra's Hellenistic influences in its design. Greek-style columns blended with Nabatean innovation. Use a comparison. Picture Rome's grandeur fused with Eastern artistry, all carved into stone. Segment 3. The Lost Secrets of Petra. Some believe Petra hides more than just temples and tombs. Recent archaeological findings suggest underground chambers, hidden passages, and structures buried beneath centuries of sand. Visual, footage of archaeologists uncovering new sites around Petra. Discuss theories of Petra's underground chambers. Were they homes, vaults, or places of ritual? Introduce local legends about treasures hidden within Petra's depths. Mention secret inscriptions discovered on Petra's walls. Could they reveal unknown aspects of Nabatean culture? Segment 4, The Decline. How did Petra vanish? Despite its former glory, Petra fell into obscurity. Was it an earthquake that shattered its foundations? A shift in trade routes that drained its wealth? Or did something more mysterious cause its disappearance? Visual, artistic recreation of Petra's decline. Crumbling facades, shifting sands overtaking structures. Highlight major events, earthquakes, invasions, economic decline. Present historians' perspectives on why Petra was abandoned. Use an emotional analogy. A city that once roared with life now whispers its stories through empty corridors. Segment 5, Petra Today, Preserving a Legacy. Centuries later, Petra was rediscovered. But is the city truly understood? Or do its secrets still linger in the silent stone? Visual, modern-day Petra bustling with tourists, scholars studying inscriptions. Talk about ongoing archaeological work and new discoveries. Discuss Petra's importance in modern culture, from UNESCO heritage status to cinematic portrayals. Close with a thought-provoking statement. Petra was never truly lost. It was waiting to be remembered. Closing scene. Sound fades into the gentle hum of wind across Petra's canyon. Mystery, power, and ingenuity. Petra is more than ruins. It is a testament to human ambition, whispering ancient secrets to those who listen. So, the real question remains. What else is waiting to be uncovered? Fade to black. This script balances historical storytelling with cinematic elements, keeping viewers captivated for an hour-long deep dive into Petra's enigmatic past. Title: The Dawn of Civilization. A prehistoric world of wild beasts and early hunters. Video length: 30 minutes. Tone and style: engaging, cinematic, informative, yet accessible. Soundscape: the rustling of trees, distant calls of prehistoric creatures, and the crackling of a nearby fire. Narrator: imagine a world untouched by human civilization. A vast, unspoiled wilderness where towering ferns and ancient trees stretch toward the heavens. The air hums with life, the roar of saber-toothed cats, the stampede of bison, and the flutter of colossal birds soaring above. And amidst this raw, untamed landscape, early humans move with purpose, armed with nothing more than sharpened spears, their instincts, and a will to survive. This is the dawn of civilization, the fragile beginning of humanity's remarkable journey. Act 1. The Wild Kingdom, 2:30, 10 Nawa. Visuals. Sweeping shots of prehistoric landscapes teeming with roaming megafauna, woolly mammoths, giant elk, and packs of dire wolves. Narration. Focus. Introducing the environment, the dangers, the opportunities, and how early humans fit into this ecosystem. Narrator. Before civilization, before cities and written language, humans were nomads, bound by the rhythm of the land. They weren't rulers of this world. They were survivors, learning to coexist with creatures far more powerful than themselves. Every sunrise, a new struggle emerged, finding food, avoiding predators, and mastering the art of hunting. The great beasts of this era were both obstacles and opportunities, determining the very fate of those brave enough to pursue them. Act 2. The Hunter's Strategy. Tenandans 18 Sao. Visuals. Close-ups of hunters preparing weapons, flint-knapping stone blades, carving spears, drawing bows. Narration. Focus. The ingenuity of early human hunters, how they planned, cooperated, and used technology to secure their survival. Narrator. Hunting was never a solo endeavor. Success demanded teamwork, strategy, and a deep understanding of the prey. They studied movements, tracked footprints and set traps. A single hunt could take days, stalking, waiting, anticipating the perfect moment. Armed with spears crafted from bone and arrows fletched with feathers, they honed their skills through endless trial and error. And when the hunt finally succeeded, it wasn't just about survival, it was a triumph, a moment that shaped their destiny. Act through the spark of civilization, 1828 Cross. Visuals, early settlements forming, fires crackling, the first signs of structured communities. Narration. Focus. How hunting evolved into something greater. Collaboration, communication, and the first steps toward civilization. Narrator. Survival gave way to progress. Hunting led to gathering, and gathering led to settlement. No longer did humans wander endlessly. They learned to shape their environment, build shelters, and carve tools that expanded their reach. With each lesson, a foundation was laid, a structure that would lead to agriculture, societies, kingdoms, and empires. And it all began here, in the wild, where instinct met ingenuity and necessity sparked invention. Closing scene, 28 Vries, 30 Vries. Visuals. The golden hues of a setting sun over an early human settlement, fires flickering against the twilight. Narration. Focus. Reflecting on the origins of civilization, connecting the past to the present. Narrator. The roots of human civilization weren't planted in palaces or cities. They were sown in the hunt, in the struggle, in the primal need to survive. And as the sun set on that prehistoric world, a new dawn began, one that would define the course of history forever. Music swells, fading into the distance. If you enjoyed this journey into humanity's earliest days, consider subscribing for more stories that unveil the depths of our past. Let's explore the lost worlds and unravel the untold stories of history together. A montage of iconic moments in sports history. Victorious leaps, the roar of the crowd, medals shining in the spotlight. Warm, engaging tone. When we look at sports heroes, we often see glory, the bright lights, the roaring fans, the triumphs that go down in history. But behind every scoreboard, there lies a story, a journey filled with challenges, sacrifices, and untold struggles. Today, we're diving into the hidden world of personal battles that shaped legendary athletes. 1. The power of persistence, Wilma Rudolph. Visuals transition to a sepia-toned clip of Wilma Rudolph running at full speed. Take Wilma Rudolph, for example, an Olympic champion whose name is synonymous with speed. What many don't know is that Wilma was told she might never walk again after being struck by polio as a child. With grit and determination, she defied the odds, not just walking but racing into history as the fastest woman in the world. Cut to footage of Rudolph crossing the finish line, followed by her beaming smile. Wilma's story reminds us that persistence doesn't just break records, it builds champions. 2. Wrestling Inner Demons, Michael Phelps. Switch to highlights of Michael Phelps dominating the pool, the water glittering in the sunlight. Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympian of all time, a symbol of excellence and determination. But even for Michael, the path to greatness wasn't just about gold medals. Away from the pool, he faced battles with mental health, struggling with depression and anxiety. Include an animated visual of Phelps sitting alone on a bench, contemplating life. It was his courage to speak openly about his struggles that made Michael a hero beyond the lanes. By sharing his journey, he showed the world that it's okay to ask for help, and that strength comes from facing the things that weigh us down. Beyond Borders, the journey of Yusra Mardini. Transition to Yusra Mardini, swimming gracefully. Yusra Mardini's story isn't just about sports, it's about survival. As a Syrian refugee, she fled her war-torn country, at one point swimming in open seas to help save her fellow passengers when their boat began sinking. Animated visuals show her pulling the boat through rough waves. Years later, Yusra competed at the Olympics, not just representing her skills, but her resilience and humanity. Cut to her raising the Olympic flag with pride. Yusra's journey reminds us that sports have the power to unite, inspire, and transcend borders. Breaking barriers. Jackie Robinson. Highlight Jackie Robinson stealing bases, the crowd cheering in black and white footage. Jackie Robinson didn't just play baseball, he broke barriers. As the first African American to play in Major League Baseball, Jackie faced relentless discrimination, but his courage and talent paved the way for generations to follow. Show animations of hate mail turning into newspaper headlines praising his victories. Jackie's story goes beyond home runs. It's about standing strong in the face of adversity. The Heart of Heroes. Montage of the featured athletes with emotional music playing. The journeys of Wilma, Michael, Yusra, and Jackie show us that sports aren't just about the scoreboard. They're about perseverance, breaking barriers, and embracing humanity. Heroes aren't just born, they're forged through struggles, one victory at a time. Visual of a scoreboard fading into a quote. Every hero has a story. Upbeat tone. Which athlete's untold journey inspires you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you loved learning the stories behind the scoreboard, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more inspiring tales. Game changers. How certain players revolutionized their sports. Montage of iconic athletes in action. Michael Jordan dunking, Serena Williams dominating a match, Messi weaving through defenders, Muhammad Ali in the ring. There are athletes, and then there are game changers, players who didn't just win, but reshaped the way their sport is played forever. They defied conventions, challenged norms, and redefined greatness. Today, we'll dive into the stories of legends who didn't just play the game, they changed it. Segment 1. Muhammad Ali, the art of psychological warfare. Visual. Ali dodging punches, taunting opponents, his famous rope-a-dope technique. Boxing was once a test of brute force. Then came Muhammad Ali. He didn't just fight, he played mind games using words and wit before ever throwing a punch. His footwork was poetry, his trash talk legendary. And the rope-a-dope strategy? It changed boxing forever. Ali didn't just defeat opponents, he outthought them. Segment 2. Michael Jordan, the blueprint for superstardom. Visual. Jordan soaring midair for a dunk, clutch shots in high-pressure moments. Basketball was always about teamwork, but then came Michael Jordan, the definition of an individual force within a team. His ability to score, lead, and will his team to victory became the new standard. His impact reached beyond the court, transforming athletes into global brands. Today, every aspiring star follows the blueprint Jordan created. Segment 3. Serena Williams. Power, precision, and breaking barriers. Visual. Serena firing off a powerful serve. Emotional celebrations, standing tall against critics. Tennis was once a sport of finesse, grace, and tradition. Then Serena Williams arrived. She brought raw power, resilience, and an unstoppable mentality. With each victory, she tore down barriers of race, gender, and perception, proving that dominance comes in many forms. Her influence extends far beyond the sport itself. Segment 4. Lionel Messi, the redefinition of football genius. Visual. Messi dribbling effortlessly through defenders, stunning goals, comparisons with Maradona. Football had superstars before Messi, but none quite like him. A player of his size wasn't supposed to succeed, let alone dominate. Yet, through vision, agility, and unparalleled ball control, Messi redefined how the game is played. His legacy isn't just in records, it's in the way football itself evolved because of him. Segment 5. Usain Bolt, speed like never seen before. Visual, Bolt staring down the competition, iconic celebrations, breaking records. The fastest man alive, Usain Bolt didn't just win races, he obliterated records. His dominance made sprinting a spectacle, his presence elevating track and field to global excitement. Today, sprinters don't just race, they chase the impossible standards Bolt set. Visual, compilation of each game changer in action, inspiring quotes appearing on screen. Some athletes play, others change the game forever. Their legacies live on, shaping future generations and redefining what we thought was possible. Who do you think is the greatest game changer of all time? In New York City, the towering skyline, the rhythm of life. But behind the glass and steel is a story of ambition, reinvention, and the very soul of American architecture. As you walk through its streets, you're walking through time. From cobblestone roads lined with Dutch settlements to modern skyscrapers piercing the clouds. Act 1. The Foundations. Let's rewind to the 17th century. New York wasn't a metropolis. It was New Amsterdam, a small Dutch trading post. Architecture was simple and practical. Brick houses, wooden structures. It was a city built for survival, not spectacle. Then came the British. Streets widened. Brownstone row houses appeared. Foundations were set for something greater. Act 2. The rise of the skyscraper. The late 19th century, New York wasn't just growing, it was rising. The city saw its first skyscraper boom. Steel replaced stone. Innovations like the elevator revolutionized how people lived. The Woolworth Building became a symbol of grandeur. The Chrysler Building, a masterpiece of Art Deco elegance. Act 3. Post-war modernism and the Glass Age. After World War II, a new philosophy took hold. Less ornamentation, more function. Architects like Ludwig Mies van der Rohe introduced sleek glass towers. The city shifted from decorative facades to steel and glass minimalism. Iconic buildings like the Seagram Building redefined the skyline. Act 4. The future. Sustainable architecture. But the story isn't over. Today, architecture in New York isn't just about height. It's about sustainability. Green rooftops, energy-efficient buildings, and innovations like the Spiral and Hudson Yards redefine how cities breathe. New York's architecture has never stood still. It evolves, just like the city, just like us. Closing message. Architecture isn't just about buildings. It's about the people who shape them. What will the next chapter in New York's skyline look like? Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on your notification bell so that you won't miss our next videos.